As always, Ted, kick us off. Who do you have as your winner of the week?
OU women's hoops, they got beers. Yeah, big time. Raegan Beers, number one portal player out there. Oregon State, all Pac-12. What they went to the Elite Eight against South Carolina. What 6'4",
6'4".
6'4", really good player. Scores, defends well. Big time get for the Sooners for sure.
Jenny Baranchek I
On it.
went head to head against Gino Ariema and UConn for Raegan Beers. Those were finalists coming out of the portal. OU and UConn. And she chose Oklahoma. That's a big deal, man.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as Porter Moser is struggling to land guys, Jenny Baranchek, this is a massive, massive deal for them. And Raegan Beers is like she can get buckets, man. She was a third team All American.
Yeah.
Couple fun facts about Raegan Beers, Ted.
Okay.
Did you know? Same high school as Gavin Sawchuk.
I did know that. You told me right before the show started.
Okay. Fair enough. This is something you did not know. I did not tell
Okay.
you this. Brother. She's got a brother. Plays tight end at Florida International. Rowdy Beers.
Man, I like that. That's
Guy's
pretty
name is
good.
Rowdy Beers. I don't know Raegan Beers. I don't know her parents. Never met him. Never seen one thing about him. Tell you right now, those people are awesome. Those are people I want to hang out with.
That's good. Well, hey man, I'm excited about it. Premier player, fill in around her, and I the inaugural SEC season for Oklahoma women's hoops is going to be a really competitive one.
When you think about it, what? Skylar Van's back. Verhulst is back. Sahara Williams, I think, can be an absolute star. So you combine Beers with I think they're going to be really dang good, man. Now it'll be interesting to see what life in the SEC is like for them. But back-to-back regular season titles in the Big 12.
Yeah.
I don't know if all of a sudden they're going to be South Carolina, but Jenny Baranchek has that thing headed in the right direction.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's going to be more. It's going to be really competitive, but I think it's a good thing for him, man. If you can go have success in that conference, um, be really competitive with the top teams, it's going to help them in recruiting. I mean, it's just high tide raises all ships. So I feel like that's going on with all the different programs right now in the athletic department.
It was a much needed portal win for Oklahoma
Yeah.
basketball
Yeah.
with
Yes,
the
it was.
with the men going 0 for 3 on the local guys.
Oh gosh.
I just want to give Porter a hug.
I know.
Who do you have as your loser of the week? Don't make it Porter. But do something else.
Shedeur Sanders.
Ooh.
Now, um, Xavier Smith on the team was told maybe to transfer, hung around through spring practice, just wasn't getting any attention. Finally hit the portal, but I guess he was given an interview and said that he, wasn't given much of a chance, didn't really get to know the head coach at all. And Shedeur Sanders had to chime in and say, must not have been any good. Don't even remember him. Thought that was like, they're kind of in need of some good press. And I feel like it's just been bad, 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 bad for Colorado right now. And Shedeur Sanders just kind of dumping some gas on the fire right now with not a very good social media post.
So if you haven't seen it, The Athletic wrote a story about all of the guys that left Colorado when Dion came in and kind of purged the roster. And yeah, Xavier Smith basically said Deion Sanders had no interest in getting to know me, uh, and it just wasn't a great experience. And Shedeur Sanders quote tweeted that and said, I don't even remember him, to be honest. Bro had to be very mid at best. This is the question I have for you, Ted. What what good did Shedeur Sanders think was going to come from that tweet?
I guess if I am to play devil's advocate here, he saw that as a shot at his dad, and he felt compelled to come in and defend and say, clearly you just weren't any good. Now, what good comes of that? None. So I don't know. I can't answer that. Like I've got no answer for you there. Clearly not. There's no good that comes from it at all. It makes it continue to look like there's there's a bunch of individuals walking around campus there in Colorado looking out for number one.
I haven't looked at their win loss total, like their over under. That's the leader of your football team. Give me the under.
Yeah.
And I saw a lot of people discussing this, a lot of people chiming in. And when I saw that, it just bummed me out, man. Because college football is supposed to be about like getting to know your guys and like developing relationships in their locker room. And no one influences a team more than the starting quarterback. And like no one sets the culture more. And that's as bad of an attitude as you can have.
I'll be interested to see if that's brought up like Spencer Rattler's high school situation was brought up.
That will be very interesting.
My guess is it won't be.
I it, it I don't want to overreact to one tweet, but it made me think about him differently. You think just because this guy maybe wasn't that good that like he's so beneath you, you don't need to know his name, like who he is. It's just a complete opposite of how I've always approached sports. It's like, and this is true. Every year before the spring game, I am always worried that I will run into a guy that I played with and I can't remember his name every
Yeah.
year. So the week leading up to the spring game, I study every single roster of my time at OU. I look at all the guys' faces. I look at the net, like I study it. Because it means like I don't want to be the guy that you run into someone you spent 3 or 4 years with and you can't remember their name. There's nothing more disrespectful,
Mm-hmm.
especially when you spent hours and hours and hours with them. And so it just that tweet really bothered me.
Yeah.
And
It
maybe
is.
I'm getting old, maybe, but it was just like, God, man, this guy, he's so talented, and that's just that's the exact opposite of what I'm looking for in my quarterback.
100%. There's no doubt. And listen, I'm not naive to think that there's not guys that think that on every roster in the country. That if someone were to, hit the portal, go somewhere else, and like that same situation could play out. Now, I don't believe that everyone is going to post it, but here's the thing: I because last year, whenever things went bad for Colorado, and the all the attention that was being poured in, they started getting some hate, right? And there was pushback on that. I don't want to hear anyone from Colorado crying like a little bitch whenever they play bad and they're not winning and everyone starts to kind of pile on. Like it's stuff like that post right there is exactly kind of what everyone's been pointing at, you know? So just understand that if you go out there and you don't play well and people point it out, like you don't have any ground to stand on anymore. It's gone. Which I don't know that you did previously. You had a little bit, but now you really don't have any at all. So just as long as that's understood, I'm fine with it.
I think that's fair. I also, just one more thing. I am under the impression that Shedeur Sanders wants to be like the first pick of the draft. That ain't helping.
No,
That's not
he's
helping.
pretty good, but it's
He's
just
pretty good, but like if it's close between you and another guy, people are still looking for leaders of men in their locker room, for guys that bring everyone together. Like that still matters.
mm-hmm.
And there's going to be that, there will be a discussion. Hey, are we taking Carson Beck or are we taking Shedeur Sanders? And that tweet's going to come up like, I don't know, man. Like, and what good comes from it? Why do it?
Well, that's the
Maybe I'm
thing. Is like
overreacting, but dude, that tweet bummed me out so much.
it's just I don't know. But there comes to a point whenever you reach a certain level, everyone knows you're good. Like you don't have to prove anymore how good of a player you are. You get to a point where you begin to be judged on, do you make the people around you better? Right? And the guys that it's an overwhelming yes, that's not the typical behavior you see from those type of players. That's it. You know?
Think that's a fair way of putting it. Man,
He's still a damn good player though. I mean,
so good. Yeah, I'm not saying he's not good. And
right.
I want Colorado to be good. I think Deion's great for college football. I also think the way that he's gone about recruiting and the portal stuff, it's a disaster.
Horrible.
It's a
It would
disaster.
yeah, yes,
And the way
disaster.
that Deion Sanders has treated some of those players, I think is reflected in the way his son has treated some of those players.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's great for the culture of your program.
No.
I,
Well, yeah. Let's see. I could go to Colorado or I could go to other school. There's a chance that I get sent out of there and get mocked on the way out by the coach and the coach's son. I think I'll go somewhere else.
Dylan Edwards just left.
Right. Yep.
Emaw. Yeah, I feel like the vibes surrounding Colorado, like in how people view that, like it feels like a shift is taking place to me,
Oh yeah.
where a bunch of people that cover college football were really, really excited for that entire thing, rooting for them, and just the way some of this stuff has gone down. They're kind of starting to assume like a villain role in a weird way in my mind. I don't know. It's strange.
I thought Deion was going to be able to go in, capitalize on, like I like a lot of the things that he does and a lot of things that he says, but I there's a lot of do as I say, not as I do going on here. Like he preaches a lot of the right things, but then like turn around and you mock players and you don't give them any respect. You don't give them an opportunity to earn any respect. I it yeah, I don't know. People have a low tolerance for that, especially whenever you don't win very much.
Yeah. We'll see. We'll see. 2024 is gonna be an interesting season.
He's done after this. Done.
Shedeur to the NFL. Yeah.
Yep.
I I wonder if Colorado fans won't mind.
They could have a harsh reaction in their own stadium if they don't win some games this year.
Yeah.
Because like here's the thing, like not to spend a ton of time on this, but if they don't win games, like everyone that was involved in the decision to bring him in, it looks like it almost looks like they're just kind of mocking the whole thing. Like you know what I'm saying? Like
It's
not
about
having,
them and not about the university
yeah,
and the
and
fans and everyone that loves that place.
just using it as a vessel to, you know, create some notoriety, get to the NFL, all of that stuff.
Check it all out on YouTube. But watch this first, then go check that out. All right, let's get to my winner and loser. That was a long time on Dion in
It
Colorado, and
was.
that was a lot of Colorado content, but it is what it is. Let's get to my winner and loser. But first, attention business owners, you need Insurica in your life. Insurica is one of the country's largest insurance brokers with 30 offices throughout Oklahoma, Texas, and the Southwest. Insurica is able to customize programs by accessing the latest information from many insurance carriers. They compare and contrast coverage offerings and pricing in order to design a cost-effective, comprehensive program to meet your business's specific needs. If your business partners with Insurica, you'll save huge amounts of money and take back control of your total cost of risk. If your business wants to be best in class, connect with Insurica at insurica.com. That's INSURICA.com.
And head to opolisclothing.com for our podcast merchandise and the best OU gear out there. That's OPOLIS clothing.com. Use promo code TED, TED for 10% off. That's opolisclothing.com. Use promo code TED for 10% off. Buttery soft and 10% off.
Ted, a lot of people loading up on OKC gear.
I like that.
Using
Looking
the
good.
promo code. Works in store, people. Promo code TED. For my win of the week, thought about going with Travis Kelce. Guy's life is good. Living right. What? Won a bunch of Super Bowls now. #1 sports podcast. Dating arguably the most famous woman in the world. And now a 2-year contract extension that will make him the highest paid tight end in the National Football League. As he should be.
Honorary degree from Cincinnati as well.
Yeah. I mean, what else could you ask for? This guy,
When it rains, it pours.
I mean, this guy's having himself a year. Some people may think that they're giving him too much money, but he is one of those guys that, man, he shows up when they need him the most.
Mm-hmm.
And he looked good in the playoffs. He looked healthier. Like he looked, I think they believe he's still got some tread left on the old tires.
Yeah. Now, I do feel like this is a bit of we're paying you for what you've done, not necessarily what you're going to do. I mean, he's 34 years old. He's coming off of a season where he was a little banged up, production was down, but you know, he's still got plenty of gas in the tank. And this is also a reminder. The NFL is a business. It is about making money. It is not about winning games. It's about making money. Now, usually those two are intermixed, but not always. All right? Not always. Travis Kelce is a huge draw, right? And to have a player like that on your roster is incredibly valuable. I the production isn't as valuable right now as his popularity. As crazy as that sounds, you know. So I don't know. It's I guess I was pretty. Is this the first time he's been the highest paid tight end in the league? I was pretty shocked by that.
Darren Waller was making more money than him.
Yeah.
That seems wrong. So was Hawkinson. It's like, yeah, Kelce should. I don't care how old he is. Man should be the highest paid in the league. Him and Kittle. Congrats, Travis
Timing is
Kelce.
critical, but yeah, what's it? 30, 34? Is that what it ends up being total? 34
Yeah,
million a year? Something this big.
he'll be yeah, I think he's gonna I don't think that I didn't see the number yet. I think it'll be like 18 mil a year, something like that.
Yeah,
36 total.
I said 30. I think it was it 36? I think it went from like 30 over two to maybe 34, 36 over two, something like that.
Yeah. He's rich. He's doing great.
Yep.
Congrats. Awesome guy. Awesome guy. But my win of the week, I'm giving it to Jamal Murray. I just I love when a training staff and maybe a front office say, "Hey man, just sit this one out. Let's see if we can get it done without you." And he says, "No, I think I'll play." Plays through the calf and ends up hitting another game winner and sending LeBron James, Anthony Davis, and the rest of the Lakers home. Calf looked fine when he posterized LeBron.
Yeah.
Calf looked good. He was great. I mean, what a performance from, yeah, we'll see if I can give it a go to, oh, he hit his second game winner of the series, and that's a wrap.
Yep.
That was
That was
impressive
nice.
from Jamal Murray, man.
It was. He was, I was watching that clock. It's like they're not going to call timeout. And he was waiting and waiting and waiting up there. And there he goes down, hits the shot in the lane. Pretty nice, smooth looking play. No panic. That was pretty impressive. And it was a gutsy effort from the Lakers to they won that game 4. Looked like they were going to try and steal that one as well, but that was pretty cool.
Maybe if Anthony Davis's arm would have worked the entire game, they would have won. How weird. What was that? It's always something.
Always something. It's every single game. He takes some type of injury. It's the end of the damn world. It's catastrophic. There's no way they're going to be able to get him off the court. Please call the stretcher. We need an ambulance out here. And then he goes to the bench. He sits around, grabs a Gatorade. He goes back in the game. It is ridiculous. It happens nonstop with that guy.
I did feel bad for him. It looked like he was in a lot of pain. He looked like he was in a lot of pain. It looked like a harmless bump, but is it like a stinger? I don't know. That was strange. I was a little confused by the Lakers defense late. I maybe make someone other than Jamal Murray beat you. It
Yeah.
seemed like awfully easy for him to get to his spot there. That pretty simple pick and roll concept. I don't know. Maybe make Contavious Caldwell Pope hit a shot. Michael Porter Jr. I don't know. Anyone but Jamal Murray.
Yeah.
Hell, make Jokic shoot it. I don't know. Just I'm not a basketball expert. It seemed like a little more help could have been given to Austin Reeves in that situation.
Right. Well, hey, yeah. I mean, I guess maybe that's the reason they didn't want to take a timeout right there. Didn't give him a chance to sit there and talk about it a little bit. But I mean, it seems fairly straightforward.
Now LeBron watch begins. How excited are you for it, Ted? Will he opt in? Or will he hit free agency? That storyline is going to consume the NBA offseason.
Who do you think is going to come up just short of a championship this year?
He's not coming to Oklahoma City.
No.
And my answer, I can't imagine he ends up in Boston. I can't imagine Denver doesn't want him.
No. I don't know what's going to happen.
Dallas maybe makes the most sense,
Yeah.
but I don't know if they've got the assets because they're kind of all in on their current team.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
I
it's
don't.
kind of interesting. Like, 1 year deal from here on out, right? Probably.
Oh no, I think he's going to ask for 3 years
Oh, you do? Okay.
or something. I mean, it's LeBron James. He's gonna. It's
Yeah.
not gonna be. It's not gonna be a light ask.
Right. Yeah. I don't know what the plan is. It's just, how long do you want to play?
Good question.
Because there has to come a point where, like, there's not really anything left to prove for him. But I mean, if he still enjoys it and loves it, then whatever. I mean, play forever. It's incredible the shape he's in at 39 years old. As big as he is, it's just incredible. It, the amount of work you have to put in, like, it grows exponentially with every year you get older, you know?
First round exit. I'm sure it'll be. I'm sure it won't be dramatic at all for the
All
Lakers
right.
for LeBron. Just get ready, people. It's gonna lead every show for the entire summer. Just prepare yourself. All right, my loser of the week. I thought about going with Minnesota Timberwolves head coach Chris Finch. My God. Your team sweeps the Suns, but it comes at a huge price to him personally. Have you ever seen that in a basketball game? Blows out his patellar tendon on the sideline.
No.
And it's not like Mike Conley hit him very hard.
And I don't know. What do you do? Like, that's a big, like, how do you coach with that?
He's having surgery this week. First of all, I can only imagine how pissed he is about this entire
Oh my
thing. It's like
God.
your team's playing incredible. You're closing out a sweep in game 4 and you blow your knee out. And patellar tendon, that's a painful one. Like that's
Oh yeah.
the
Yeah.
tensile strength to that bad boy. Ouch.
It's like an explosion going off in your knee. I He has to coach in a wheelchair.
He's gonna be in a brace, dude. He can't. I don't think he's gonna be
They
able to
have
be
to
on the sideline.
No, they have to give him a parking spot for a wheelchair where the chair would go. And he backs in.
But he's going to be immobilized in that brace, and his leg is going to be straight. He's not going to be able to get out of the way if there's a loose ball that comes right at him.
He's
And I
got
don't
a
think
hand, he's got to have an attendant with the wheelchair.
could
Yeah.
you imagine the staffer that
There's a
draws
guy
that
over there
aside?
that's, yeah, runs him out, out to do the interview before or before the quarter, and then wheels him back over to the team.
The
Yeah.
the only thing I could think of is putting him on the second row of the bench.
Or back, where players sit down like and stretch and stuff, kind of almost back into the tunnel.
Yeah, tucked into the corner.
Have him in the tunnel
I mean,
in the wheelchair.
he's going to be there, but he's not going to be able to coach how he normally coaches. It's just
No.
it's going to be too much of a risk for him. Like he can't be standing up on crutches on the sideline in case. I guess maybe he can.
No way.
I I don't know how crazy he is, but if he gets bumped and he is going down, like oh my gosh, the league
Yeah.
doesn't want that visual.
No.
Him getting bumped, Carl, and it would be Carl Anthony Towns for sure. It's always Carl Anthony Towns does
Oh
some of the
yeah.
strangest stuff. He would accidentally just steamroll Chris Finch on crutches, and it'd be played for decades.
I guarantee wheelchair in the corner.
That's your official prediction?
That's my prediction.
I'm going second row of the bench so that
You
there's like a
you can't get out of the second row though.
they can move some stuff around. Come on. He's a
Yeah,
head
I guess
coach.
that's true.
I feel
Yeah.
bad for him, man. Like they look like a legitimate title contender. They look like they could go win the title and you blow your patellar tendon out. It's
Can
crazy.
you imagine like you're standing there and it's like and pause. Give me a list of 10 million things that could happen next. And it's like at no point would that come up, you know?
All, all I could think about when it happened, I was on my official visit to Notre Dame. They were playing Michigan. And Notre Dame wanted me to play defensive line. They wanted me to play DN. And my host was a guy named Jack Ryan, defensive lineman. Jack Ryan is running down the field covering a punt. A guy from Michigan pushes him, and he falls straight into Charlie Weiss's leg and blows every ligament out in Charlie Weiss's knee
Oh my God.
during the game. That was my host for my official visit, and I was with him after that with his family. It was one of those. It was, dude, every channel we turned on at his apartment was showing it. And like you couldn't escape it. And it was, I was like, dude, that's you. It was,
Oh my
they
God.
were, we were all like, they were all mortified, but also like laughing. Like they didn't know how to respond. And I
Uh,
instantly went back to that when I saw this. I was like, oh my gosh. Cause
that's
you just never
crazy.
see this.
No.
Go look the Charlie Weiss one up, people. Just Google, just YouTube Charlie Weiss knee injury. It will be the first thing that pops up. It makes Chris Finch's look like nothing. Dude, it was so bad. It was so
Oh,
bad, Ted.
I've got to see that. I don't think I've ever seen that, or at least I don't
Oh,
remember it.
oh my gosh. I almost want you to pull it up right now and watch it just to get your live reaction. Do
Okay,
it.
go.
I will wait. It was not a fun time during the game because it was raining the entire football game. And Notre Dame wasn't any good. Michigan wasn't any good really back then either. But this was it was the only thing anyone was talking about after that football game. He has pulled it up, ladies.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Charlie Weiss injury.
This is terrible podcasting,
Oh,
but
slow motion. Oh, he doesn't see it coming. I don't know if I can watch this. Stay off the white, Charlie. Oh, leg whip. Oh, God.
and Chris
I could
Finch's
see
is
him.
nothing.
He's like trying to like turn in the air to avoid it. Oh my gosh. That's brutal.
Oh, that was awful, people, but I had to see Ted's reaction to that. It was so bad. Loser of the week, Boston Celtics. Now, up 3-1 on the Heat. Smacked them around in game 4. Series is going to be over. No doubt about it in my mind. However, Porzingis is hurt again. He goes down with a non-contact right calf injury. Am I right? Now, it doesn't sound like they're concerned about his Achilles. But Ted, what's even more interesting to me is he hurts his right calf. And as I'm watching it, he's got his left calf like K-taped all up.
Hmm.
So he's going to be out for a while. Like he clearly was already dealing with something with one calf. Now he's definitely going to miss a lot of games with this right calf. And I mean, it's got to concern the Celtics because they are the best version of themselves when he's on the court with how he spaces the floor for Tatum and Brown and Derek White and what he does as a rim protector. Like the best version of the Boston Celtics, Kristaps Porzingis is on the floor, and I don't know. They were great in the regular season without him. They were 21-4 without him. So it's not like they struggled mightily without him or anything. But when you're trying to get over that title hump, if you're Boston, you want to have all your bullets, man. And who knows when he'll be back?
Yeah, and we just talked about this recently. Big guy, long guy like that that's got a calf injury, and you start to worry about pushing it a little bit, go out there and snap the Achilles or something. Um, yeah, I don't know. It's definitely not what they wanted. They almost lost. I think it was Tatum. Did you see that on that? It was like a dead ball, and he shot the three and rolled his ankle on the big guy's foot. It's
Well, it
like,
wasn't even that. What early in the series, I'm trying to remember who got pushed in the back and like undercut him. He was up in the air and just like completely undercut him.
hmm,
I think it was because he got nudged, but it looked like it could have been bad. So the NBA playoffs are starting to feel like, hey, who can stay healthy long enough?
right, right. It's a war of attrition.
Thank God the Thunder have all these young, spry lads. Let's go.